Right now this morning, Harris versus Trump, key moments from last night's historic face-off on the debate stage, and 9/11's hidden toll, how one group is fighting for heroes' health 23 years later.
Plus, I'll have all your forecasts coming up about hazy skies and, of course, warmer conditions coming up. We could get hot tomorrow. I'll have that coming up in your QuickCast.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, September 11th. It's not supposed to be getting warmer, Art. We're supposed to be, trending towards fall. What's going on?
Is there a rule about that? You're all like nature.
The rule of, a girl wanting to enjoy autumn, right?
In that case, let's get on that right now. I'm not getting away in that bus, so hold on to this right now, my friends. Before we get into the hazy skies again, rainfall just kind of slipped out of the air. It's now working its way out to I was going to say the Gulf, but out to the Great Lakes. We're going to see smoke and haze and gusty winds later on as we go through the day. Tomorrow we get into more sunshine, and of course we'll call it mostly sunny skies for both days here. And we have the haze that may still linger going into Thursday before it gets out of the way, possibly a Thursday night. There's a look at Francine down there. That's going to be a hurricane that's going to be moving on shore today down to the Gulf by areas by Lake Charles as well as Lafayette. We have drier conditions right now working into all that brown right there you see into the central portion of the nation, but that's all going to change once Francine moves on shore, and that's going to usher in some more of that humidity for us as we go over the next couple of days into your weekend. Hey, look at this. This is the smoke up in the atmosphere right now. Low atmosphere, middle atmosphere, and the upper atmosphere. That continues to get out of the way, but you see it beginning to lift up a little bit, starting to move into Canada, but we'll be in and out of it going into tomorrow, so bear that in mind. We still have a little bit of smoke and haze into our forecast, but it will get out of the way as we go deeper into the afternoon. For kids going on the school bus today, 60 degrees expected with a whole lot of sunshine. You'll also see you heading home. They're looking at least 84 degrees. That's up in Eau Claire. For us in La Crosse, though, we're looking at least mostly sunny skies, 62 degrees, 7 a.m. By 3 p.m., we're looking at 86 degrees with a high possibly about 87. I'll have more about this coming up for you in my next forecast, so please stick around.
Just hours ago, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump wrapped up their highly anticipated debate with razor-thin margins currently separating the two in the latest CBS News Battleground state polls. CBS News' Jared Hill is in Philadelphia with a recap of some of the night's biggest moments and early reaction from the candidates.
Have a good debate.
A handshake kicked off the first meeting between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. But the 90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match over issues like the economy.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation.
Abortion.
For years, they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done.
The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
And immigration.
They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in.
What we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
The former president even spreading misinformation about migrants in Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
He also repeatedly worked to link Harris to President Joe Biden, who dropped out of the race in July.
She is Biden. She's trying to get away from Biden.
I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
Both candidates continued to make their case after the debate. Vice President Harris greeting supporters at an event here in Philadelphia, while former President Trump claimed victory in the spin room with reporters.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good.
This is very much two different visions for our country.
Both campaigns taking a pause today to mark 23 years since the September 11th attacks are back in the swing states tomorrow.
The Harris Walls ticket got a major celebrity endorsement just minutes after the debate wrapped up from Pennsylvania native and pop star Taylor Swift. Wisconsin's GOP chairman, meanwhile, says former President Trump showed Western Wisconsinites who the real leader is during last night's debate. Brian Schimming welcomed the debate, saying it forced Harris to discuss her policies. He called Trump's Israel's strongest supporter and echoed Trump's claim that conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine wouldn't have happened under his presidency. When questioned about Trump's refusal to concede the 2020 election, Schimming accused Democrats of dwelling on the past.
They don't want to dwell on the economy. They don't want to dwell on inflation. They don't want to dwell on the border. They don't want to dwell on foreign wars, because all the polling out there shows that the Democrats are upside down on every single one of those issues.
Schimming says Harris will deflect from her and President Biden's record from now until Election Day. Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz, wife of vice presidential candidate Tim, joined La Crosse County Democrats for their debate watch party last night. That event sold out quickly after Walz's attendance was announced. This high-profile visit, along with recent stops by President Biden and former President Trump, underscores Western Wisconsin's importance as a key battleground with many independent voters.
It's going to come down to turnout. Whichever side can kind of turn out more people and get people to the polls on November 5th could easily be the difference in Wisconsin. It could easily be the difference for the presidency.
At this point, no other presidential debates are scheduled, so this might be the only chance for undecided voters to directly compare and contrast the candidates. The teenage boy accused of killing 10-year-old Lily Peters will be tried as an adult. That ruling was handed down yesterday by an appeals court. The now 16-year-old, known only publicly as CPB, is accused of killing and sexually assaulting Peters in April 2022. Last January, a Chippewa County judge ruled the case would stay in adult court. Then in February, his attorney appealed that decision. The suspect is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree sexual assault. A La Crescent man faces charges after a multi-state chase in a stolen vehicle. Police say 44-year-old Matthew Davis stole a running truck from a La Crescent Quick Trip Monday. He then crossed into Wisconsin, then back into Minnesota via I-90. Authorities used spike strips near Winona to end the pursuit. Davis is now in the Houston County Jail. Eau Claire police reporting a surge in car break-ins on the north side. Since June, 66 vehicles have been burglarized, nearly double last summer's count. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall shows us how to keep your car safe.
Roy Bardell has lived on the north side of Eau Claire since 1982. He knows what it feels like being the victim of a burglar.
About 10 years ago, somebody broke into the garage was open and somebody stole some stuff out of the garage.
With more break-ins happening in his neighborhood, Bardell isn't taking any chances.
We now lock the patio doors that we didn't used to lock, and I always lock the pickup truck door. These two cars go in the garage, and the garage door is always shut at night.
According to Ben Hunt with the Eau Claire Police Department, thieves are trying door handles of unlocked cars and open garages, stealing cash, clothes, and small electronics. He says the simple solution is to lock up.
Just make sure you lock up your cars when you go in for the night. If you're able to use a garage space to park your car in and you can close the door, that really helps to deter the people.
Hunt also recommends people do more than the basics.
If you have a motion light or a camera, those things are definitely helpful to deter from being a victim of the thefts.
So far, no one has been caught.
We haven't made any type of arrests or referrals as far as these cases go, so we are still actively looking for the people that were involved.
In Eau Claire, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now this morning.
The number of break-ins has decreased over the last few weeks, but with no arrests so far, police want to remind residents to lock your doors and close your garage. Rescue crews will resume their search today for a diver missing in Lake Michigan off Pleasant Prairie. The Coast Guard received a call yesterday about a scuba diver who didn't surface after exploring a shipwreck 6 miles offshore in over 100-foot deep water. The search was suspended last night and will continue today. Hurricane Francine still strengthening over the Gulf Coast ahead of its expected landfall later today. As we take a live look outside of Galveston, Texas, you can see the winds and waves are picking up. Yeah, look at the waves ahead of Francine's arrival, sitting at just 200 miles off the coast right now. The National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center says it'll cause a risk of tornadoes from Louisiana to the western panhandle. Hurricane Francine also could bring flooding, heavy rainfall, powerful winds, and a potentially life-threatening storm surge. And flags will fly at half-staff today in Wisconsin and Minnesota, honoring the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. Governors Tony Evers and Tim Walz ordered the observance from sunrise to sunset. Governor Evers urged Wisconsinites to reflect on the spirit of service and unity born from tragedy. He encouraged residents to honor those lives lost and find strength through community and common purpose. President Biden and other dignitaries are in New York to mark 23 years since the 9/11 terror attacks. Families of the victims will gather at the site where the World Trade Center used to be to remember the close to 3,000 people killed in Lower Manhattan, at the Pentagon, and aboard Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news. Attorneys general are demanding a general warning label on social media apps. The new CEO of Starbucks is vowing to bring the company back to its roots. And Campbell's Soup wants to drop soup from its corporate moniker. Australia moves to restrict social media access for kids, how this could impact platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And for now, looking at one of the many tributes honoring the heroes and victims of 9/11, today is Libraries Remember Day. That's observed every year on the anniversary of the attacks and celebrates the role of public libraries in social welfare. It's a chance to focus on the themes libraries embody that stand against terrorism and hatred. Libraries represent learning, knowledge, and preservation of heritage, as well as openness to new information and hope for the future. And now, leaving you with a live look at the 9/11 memorial. This, of course, at Ground Zero in New York City, as we continue to mark the 23rd anniversary of the attacks. A somber day in U.S. history for sure. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news is after the break.
Come to the Vernon County Fair. Bring your family and enjoy food, exhibits, and the Midway. Visit our website for events like the tractor and truck pulls, demo derby, and horse pulls. Tyler Deaver is on stage 4 to 6 Thursday and Friday. Vernon County Fair in Viroqua.
Right now, it's the Labor Day sale at Home Furniture. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices, like this 2-piece sectional for just $1,299 after discount. Or pay no interest for 3 years. The Labor Day sale at Home Furniture ends Wednesday.
I don't need much, just a chance to work hard and take care of my family. But Biden-Harris and the Washington Democrats have made that tough. Inflation is crushing us. Go to the parts store, the grocery store, the gas station. You feel it everywhere. And what has Tammy Baldwin done? Not a damn thing. She's been right there with them, raising taxes, spending more, backing Biden-Harris, hurting Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Improving your home, improving your life with new entry doors. Few things in your home get the constant use of the entry door. Older entry doors are often hard to open, hard to close, drafty, cold, ugly, insecure, or all of these things, a source of daily misery. Correctly installed entry doors provide a safety and security for your family. They are easy to operate, provide comfort, and say welcome to family and friends. Call or visit the Board Store for a prompt free estimate. Get more for less today and every day. The Board Store.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry, cause you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
It's the Labor Day mattress sale at Home Sleep Express. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on quality mattress brands Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep during the Labor Day mattress sale. Going on now at Home Sleep Express.
Come to the Vernon County Fair. Bring your family and enjoy food, exhibits, and the Midway. Visit our websites for events like the tractor and truck pulls, demo derby, and horse pulls. Don't forget the homemade pie auction on Sunday. Vernon County Fair in Viroqua.
Well, good morning to you. Taking a look here, City Cam 8, absolutely beautiful and quiet out there right now. Rainfall has moved out to the Great Lakes, and I'm not seeing any river valley fog right now in the form of patchy fog, but looking pretty good with hazy skies still holding on to our area. And as you're getting the kids prepared to go to school, we're looking at a fairly mild day starting in the morning, and then getting into the afternoon, we'll see those 80s start to pop in the picture, and it will be at least warm in some cases. Hey, take a look all the way to Thursday. That warm and that heat's going to continue all the way to there, as well as the smoke and haze. We'll also go into Friday all the way through the weekend and looking at some shower potential, talking Friday night going into at least Saturday morning, and a 30% chance of rainfall for Saturday, and then tapering off going into Sunday, possibly as a 20% chance. Humidity is going to pick up as well, slowly but surely, as we go through the weekend and into next week. That's because of Francine. That will be making a little bit of a flow on shore today. Next week, we're looking at warm and humid conditions, possibly with a little bit of rain. Here's a look at the fog and low cloud activity right now. You're holding on to at least 6 miles of visibility by Sparta. That means we could possibly see a little patchy fog develop in the hour or so coming up. Winds right now are fairly light, but we'll go to Eau Claire, holding on to some mostly sunny skies to start the morning hours at 8 a.m. 12 p.m. you're looking at 80 degrees. La Crosse holds on at 8 a.m. 64 degrees, and looking at 80 degrees at the noon hour as well. Mostly sunny skies will ensue. The wind gusts will begin to pick up. As you can see, will be breezy today, similar to what we had just yesterday. Maybe not getting up to 29 to 30 mile per hour wind in some cases, but will be pretty breezy. I'll have more about this coming up in your local forecast.
In your consumer news this morning, attorneys general for 42 states have signed a letter to Congress demanding a Surgeon General warning label on social media apps. They say the algorithm-driven social media platforms threaten the safety of young adults and feed the mental health crisis. Several states have already taken legal action against a number of social media companies, including Meta and TikTok. But the attorneys general say more action needs to be done, like adding that warning label. The new CEO of Starbucks is vowing to bring the company back to its roots as a traditional coffee house, and that all starts with comfortable seating. On his second day as Starbucks chief, Brian Niccol said he plans to create an environment that encourages customers to stay for a while. Niccol said it starts with new design and comfortable seating that went away. Those changes contributed to the company's decline in sales, along with high prices and lackluster food options. Mobile app and drive-through orders make up more than 70% of sales across locations nationwide. One of the country's most iconic brands plans to change its name. Campbell's Soup wants to drop soup from its corporate moniker. The company has been around for 155 years, but leaders say there's more to Campbell's these days than just soup, and soup is now a smaller part of the company's sales. So it wants to be known as the Campbell's Company. Politicians down under are looking to ban young children from using social media. Australia will become one of the first countries in the world to impose age restrictions for platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Tina Kraus has that story.
Australia's Prime Minister says there's nothing social about social media, and his government plans to set a minimum age for teenagers to use it.
I want to see kids off their devices and onto the footy fields and the swimming pools and the tennis courts. We want them to have real experiences with real people, because we know that social media is causing social harm.
Australia will draw the line somewhere between 14 and 16 years old to prevent anyone younger from using social media platforms without their parents' permission.
You can see some crazy things that kids should not see on those platforms, so I think that's good.
But some experts warn the law could backfire, preventing younger kids from finding the support they need, or driving them to use social media secretly, increasing the danger.
This is a global issue that governments around the globe are trying to deal with.
More than a dozen U.S. states are pushing for legislation to protect children from online harm, including bullying. Utah requires minors under 18 to get parental consent before using platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Australia hopes to become one of the first countries in the world to set age limits after an initial trial of age verification technology. But questions remain about whether a ban will be enforceable or effective.
In a sign of escalating concern over social media's impact, the U.S. Surgeon General recently called for putting tobacco-style warning labels on social media. We just mentioned that as well. That's it for your morning consumer news. The time now is 6:20. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
All right, we could see another day of warm conditions coming into our forecast. Take a look at this, though. This mild, that's going to start for this late morning hours going into the afternoon. That'll spill over into tomorrow as well, where we'll see the warm conditions coming in. You'll see Francine making a move, moving on shore, then eventually pushing this plume of moisture a little bit closer to us over the next couple of days, getting into at least by Friday into the weekend. Hey, take a look as we go through Thursday here. We're holding on to that warm air. We've got a blocking ridge here coming in, and that's going to push the moisture slowly but surely, trying to get it up to the north. But eventually, I think it's going to be overtaken, and we'll start to see some of that rainfall slip into our picture as we go overnight into Friday and then possibly Saturday. You see some of that rainfall there, right there underneath it, undercutting that low. All right, so that being said, we go into Friday. You've got the mild conditions, the humid conditions. We won't be as hot, though, but here's the deal. We're picking up this humidity, so we're going to feel more humid, so that may put a little extra heat on your skin. Here, there's a look at Francine making a move going into Lafayette, possibly as we go into today, and then starts to move onshore, going to Jackson, Mississippi, carrying over all the way right there, bringing some heavy rainfall to this area. As I mentioned before, they've seen a lot of rainfall over the last few weeks, and that means it's going to be rain just falling on top of more water, and it's just like taking a hose and just pouring water over a swimming pool. It's just going to be water on top of water, and that's unfortunate for a lot of folks because New Orleans is below sea level, right? And we go into Memphis, you're seeing that rainfall start to fall apart now, and the plume of moisture still continuing on, being vaulted around all of that, we'll call it that area of low pressure right there, kind of the remnants starting to head our way, and we'll get the moisture out of that as well as the humidity. That being said, the rainfall is now getting out of the way. It's headed to the Great Lakes and beyond now. We'll go into the afternoon looking at temperatures widespread in the 70s to the low 80s, picking up Eau Claire, starting that out first. And then we see as we go into the 4 o'clock hour, temperatures from 80 all the way to about 86 to 87 degrees. I suspect we're going to get that high. You're seeing like La Crosse about 87 degrees today, and Ladysmith all the way up to about 81 degrees. Eau Claire holding on about 85, maybe a wee bit more. And then down to the south, you're also looking at some middle 80s. That being said, Thursday going into Friday and Saturday, you can see temperatures up to 89, possibly 90 degrees. A little bit cooler on Friday with rainfall chances coming in overnight for Friday going into Saturday, with a 30% chance for the day on Saturday. Then we take a look. We've got more heat coming in for next week as well. And that being said, we see temperatures going from the upper 80s to the near 90-degree heat down to the middle 80s, with the humidity level still holding on and putting a little extra hot sauce on your temperatures for you as we finish out going into next week. Back to you.
No more hot sauce, please. Thank you, Art. Still ahead on your morning news, a 9/11 hero's journey from ground zero to cancer survivor. How one detective is now helping others access crucial health care 2 decades after the attacks.
Coming up in the Blitz, a ton of action from Wednesday night. Matches from the volleyball court and soccer field coming your way shortly.
And now leaving you with a live look of the Pentagon. Just minutes ago, this American flag was unfurled as part of the country's remembrance today of the September 11th attacks that happened 23 years ago today. Stay with us. Your morning sports blitz is coming up next.
Ashley knows that some of our most important traditions and memories start around the dining table. From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, we have versatile options that fit any space, with styles ranging from mid-century modern to farmhouse or traditional, starting at just $499.99. Only at Ashley.
Leave the gate open and it's chaos. Biden and Kamala opened America's gate, abandoned the Border Patrol. In came over 8 million unvetted illegals and a fentanyl crisis endangering families.
Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after spending 26 years as a Navy SEAL, I'll do anything to protect your grandchildren and mine. I know how to defend this country. So let's secure the border, and save America. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff. 3 for $5.
Pretty good.
Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
Hey, Nick. Went to usual?
Yeah, please.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. Air conditioning went out at the house, and I got some guys coming over to fix it.
Nothing that G&T can't take your mind off of, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can always depend on G&T to put my mind at ease.
Especially when I make them, eh?
Well, I'm talking about G&T heating and air conditioning. They have never let me down.
G&T, the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
Maybe I should switch to G&T.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers mattresses for every level of comfort, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. We have affordable mattress options for everybody. Find your perfect match today, only at Ashley. Shop more deals in store and online.
Download the News 8000 app today.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, the West Salem volleyball team found themselves ranked 5th in the latest Division II polls. The Panthers in action yesterday as the Luther Knights were hosting a Cooley Conference Triangular. And let's begin our action there. The Panthers and Knights both 1-0 in conference play, looking for win number 2. First set, West Salem came out swinging. Panthers setting it up. Isabella Clements sets it over to Natalie Reichert, and she destroys that volleyball, gets the kill. Panthers would take set 1. Set 2, Knights battling back. Allie Zittel puts it up, and Kayla Scheibel knocks it down for the kill. Luther would take set number 2. But in the third set, the Panthers would settle in, and Addison Jane is going to find Reichert for another big kill. She was on fire all night long as the Panthers took this one 3-1. Holman facing off with Sparta. Vikings on the attack early. It's Hadley Teff from the right side with the cross-court kill. Then a long rally here, and check out the defense by the Spartans in the back row. Ball ping-ponging it around, but later in the sequence, Lauren Schindler taps it down for the point, but Sparta was dialed in from the first serve. Strong defense at the net is going to cause the swing to go wide left and give the visitors the point. Then it's Lily Seifert with the perfectly placed ball in the corner. Sparta would take the first set, but Holman does bounce back in a big way, taking this one in 4. Lots of soccer to get to as well. Onalaska and Central doing battle. 15th minute of the match. Hilltoppers breaking the 0-0 tie. Ball crossed into Alex Hauser. He takes a touch and fires one that hits the back of the net. 1-0 visitors. Then a couple minutes later, the ball is thrown into Gabriel Fari. He makes a couple nifty moves, and after the ball roll, he shoots and scores. 2-0 Anna. But here comes Central. Finn Emlet wins a penalty after being fouled in the box, and the senior captain buries it. 2-1. Then the last kick of the half, Emlet serves up the fantastic ball to Alex Heiderscheit, and his left-footed try is true. This one ends in the draw after the score holds steady at 2-2. To Winona we go as Cotter facing Plainview Elgin Millville. Pick it up second half. Lexi Besands flying down the field. Does a little stutter step and fouls it up with a hezzy to fake the goalie out and score to put her squad up 3-0. Then the senior Izzy B. Sands got pushed down to force a penalty kick. She would hit a grounder towards the net and roll it in to put Cotter up by 4. And they would tack on one more and win this one by 5. Now heading down the road as Winona is taking on Owatonna. And right out of the gate, senior Adriana Brennan again rifling one to the back of the net to put the Windhawks up 1. And on the other end, Owatonna on the attack, but Maddie Howell is going to come up with a big save to keep it a 1-score game. Winona would try and tack on more goals as Matilda Newton is going to shoot, but it just goes a little bit wide right. And the Windhawks would take this one 1-0. A lot of action. Hope you liked it. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
Are your toilets in need of an upgrade? Not only can older toilets be uncomfortable, they can also clog more and increase your utility bills. At Maxwell White, we offer professionally trusted Kohler toilets. Our popular best-selling toilet is the Kohler Highline, available in various heights to provide ultimate accessibility and ease of use. Don't wait. Start enjoying the exceptional power, innovation, and water-saving sustainability of a new Kohler toilet. Trust the toilet experts at Maxwell White. Plumbing done right. Call today.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, or because it can tackle any terrain, not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Well, that was too close. If we keep waiting, it'll get one of us.
I know these things can be a real hazard, but groundwater does this to concrete all the time.
Water did this.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. You can lift it back up.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from Innovative Basement Authority. And now receive no interest on any repairs if paid in full in 24 months. Call or go online today.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Where's the best place for local, fresh, quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef, $5.69 per pound, or 85% lean for $5.49 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Friday Night Frenzy, Friday at 10 on News 8. You're watching News 8 now. Expect more.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, the Food and Drug Administration plans to investigate the potential harm to women from heavy metals like lead and arsenic found in tampons. This comes after a small pilot study back in July found metals were found in both organic and non-organic types. Although the levels of both metals were low, the Environmental Protection Agency says there is no safe level of exposure to lead. A new study is finding children who used the weight loss drug Liraglutide lost significantly more weight than children on a placebo. Researchers looked at the effects of the drug on children between the ages of 6 and 12 with a high body mass index. Out of 82, 56 received the drug injection once a day. The rest got a placebo. All participants also received diet and exercise counseling. At the end of the trial, those on the drug had a BMI more than 7 percentage points lower than their counterparts. The 9/11 terror attacks are still taking a toll on the physical and mental health of survivors and first responders. As we mark 23 years since the attacks, Bradley Blackburn shows us how people are still being diagnosed with 9/11 health conditions and getting treatment through a program that promises care for life.
On September 11, 2001, NYPD Detective Robert Jordan went into the cloud of white debris after the Twin Towers fell.
And when we got down there, it was like night. Everything was dark and gloomy, and it was all from the dust and debris.
He served at Ground Zero after the attacks and was even part of President Bush's security detail during his historic speech in the pit. In 2017, after Jordan had retired, the father of two was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer.
It hits you all like a ton of bricks, your family, your medical well-being, everything, and I didn't know what to do.
He found out about the World Trade Center health program at Northwell Health, and after chemotherapy, surgery, and more than 40 radiation treatments, he's now in remission. Care is authorized through the program until 2090. Dr. Jacqueline Moline says many survivors and first responders are just now seeing longer-term health effects from their exposure to toxic dust and debris.
There were so many different cancer-causing substances in the dust and the plume. And you know, the fires burned for 3 months. So there was continued exposure.
Thousands of new patients enroll in the World Trade Center health program every year, and cancer is a frequent diagnosis.
When I got sick, I figured I'd be one of the last ones, and I was basically one of the first.
It's why Jordan is determined to tell anyone who was exposed about the care that's available.
Just something everybody needs to know that was down there and sacrificed.
Still helping people in a different way 23 years later.
More than 40,000 people have been diagnosed with 9/11 related cancer. The World Trade Center Health Program is open to anyone who is a responder or survivor at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, or Shanksville, Pennsylvania. A group of cyclists is riding to support children who have lost their heroes in the line of duty. Team 1 Mile cycled into La Crosse as part of a 6-day journey through 6 cities to support Camp Hometown Heroes. That is a camp for children experiencing grief after losing a parent or sibling while serving the country.
Going to Camp Hometown Heroes, which is, why we're doing all this for, right, is going to see where the kids go, what they get to experience, the grief counseling they get to experience there, the friendships they get to make there. It was a pretty moving experience.
Team 1 Mile will host nightly events in each city featuring live music, military guest speakers, and a meet and greet. If you'd like to make a donation to the cause, you can find a link on our website. Bellin and Gunderson Health are teaming with Xcel Energy to create one of the first 100% renewable energy healthcare campuses in the nation. The new energy microgrid on the Onalaska campus will pair a battery energy storage system with Gunderson's existing solar panels to create their own electrical grid that can connect to the city grid or function on its own.
How important it is to have safe, reliable, consistent care with all of our equipment and the people that are delivering that work. This project just goes to back up all of that, to be able to tell our communities, you matter to us, and this is the lengths that we will go to make sure that we're providing safe and quality care.
The project is part of Xcel Energy's Empower Resiliency program and is expected to be complete in 2026. The time now is 6:38. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
All right, and away we go with that, Alexandra. We're looking at today starting out in the mild, then warming up into some temperatures that'll be into the 80s by the time we get in the noon hour. So folks starting out early, it's a tad bit cool to mild right now, but we'll warm you up. You're going to be warming up to hot tomorrow. Then we get into Friday and all the way way through the weekend, you're looking at showers and humidity, and that could carry over into next week as well. Take a look at this as we go into it here. We're going to be holding on to the possibility of getting into conditions to be like this. You're looking at current visibility, holding on to at least some sunshine moving into the picture. Then we go into all this haze coming into the picture here. You're going to hold on to temperatures warming up nicely, though, where you'll see those 60s, 70s getting into the 80s today. And then we go over to La Crosse, where you're looking at 62 to start, warming up at least until 1 p.m. about 82 degrees, and then warming up to 87 degrees possibly as we get into our forecast for today. That being said, the wind gusts are also going to be a factor. We're going to be breezy again today, so that means folks will be probably sneezing and all that dust kind of getting moved around with the smoke and haze out there. That'll carry over into today as it did yesterday as well. Hey, take a look though as we go right into Sky Tracker. You're looking at the possibility here of holding on. That rainfall has gone out of the way. Drier conditions will ensue, and of course we have the smoke and the haze with the winds coming out of the south today, so we'll remain breezy. And their temperatures today, highs 81 to about 87 degrees. And we'll also see as we go into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, upper 80s to near 90-degree heat for Thursday. A little bit cooler with mostly cloudy skies on Friday. We'll carry that over to rainfall and clouds coming back in for Saturday as well, as a 30% chance. All right, coming up on our Buzz Report, musician Dave Grohl announced that he recently fathered a child with a woman outside of his marriage. More on the Foo Fighters frontman, the announcement, and his marriage to Jordan Bloom when he returns. Please stick with us.
Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Get this power recliner for a steal, or a super padded, family-friendly reclining sectional.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Holman. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Labor Day exclusive. See the brand new Nectar Premier Hybrid first at Slumberland with a cooling cover and gel memory foam for pressure relief, only $10.99. Or shop America's favorite brands. Hurry, and soon at Slumberland.
Well, good morning to you. As we go into it here, we're going to be looking at the possibility of more heat coming our way. We're holding on to mild this morning, going into at least warming conditions as we go through to this afternoon and into tomorrow. We've got the moisture coming in off the Gulf with the plume of moisture coming in into the upper atmosphere, and that's going to usher in some humidity eventually over the next few days headed our way. And well, this warmth is going to continue on. Look at this area of low pressure here. We're going to keep an eye on that. That's for our rainfall potential going into Friday. That being said, we take a gander at that, and that gets out of the way. We hold on to mild and humid conditions as all that moisture from Francine starts to edge a little bit closer to us, coming up from St. Louis, working its way to Chicago, and then the moisture will kind of push it our way. Hey, take a gander at this as we go into it here. This is for Thursday. That's that area of low pressure I showed you. We've got moisture coming in off the Gulf, and it is streaming in, breezy and gusty winds going across the Rockies and then kind of diving back down. We'll see this as we go right into Friday with the rainfall cutting across, going into Minnesota, and then eventually kind of diving down on us. We could see the slight rainfall coming up to the north as a split flow continues to go. So some of that's going down to the south, the other half is going up to the north, and that's what's going to bring us rainfall going into possibly Saturday and into Sunday. We're looking at about a 30% chance of rainfall on Saturday, about a 20% chance going into Sunday. That being said, our highs for the day, 81 to about 87 degrees. Warm conditions with moisture coming in out of the Gulf. A little breezy today. We'll get winds above 14 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 89 degrees for you, where you're looking at least 85 for Friday. You're looking at mostly cloudy skies, increasing the clouds going into Saturday. There's your 30% chance of rainfall coming in. So again, Friday overnight, you're looking at the possibility of about a 20% chance coming in the overnight hours and then carrying over into Saturday. That's what I just showed you. We're going to warm up as we go right into next week as well, with warm temperatures still in our forecast. So take a look at what I've got going on for you. Upper 80s today, possibly up to near 90-degree heat for tomorrow. More sunshine, smoke and haze in your forecast. Rainfall going into Thursday, as you can see, starting out in the morning, overnight hours going into at least for Saturday to the day. So we cool it down just a wee bit, down to 82 degrees. Sunday, we have a 20% chance of rainfall sneaking into the picture. You don't see the rainfall there, but it'll be in there as we go through the day with a slight chance of shower activity. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're looking at drier conditions with the possibility of maybe just about a 10% chance of rainfall moving into the area. But by Wednesday, you're looking at a 20% chance with increasing moisture coming in for Thursday. Back to you.
In our Morning Buzz report, musician Dave Grohl announced he recently fathered a child with a woman outside of his marriage. The Foo Fighters frontman wrote that he plans to be a loving and supportive parent to the new baby girl. The legendary rocker added he loves his wife and children and is doing all he can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. Grohl and Jordan Bloom have been married since 2003. They have 3 daughters together, 18, 15, and 10 years old. Multiple media outlets are reporting Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton is in talks to direct the next Spider-Man film. The news confirms Tom Holland is likely locked in to play Spider-Man again. Cretton would be the 4th director to helm a Spider-Man movie. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter the movie will shoot in early 2025.
That's boiling water. Honey, get out. I can warm up. She was choking me. Tough, isn't he?
Actress Connie Britton stars in Paramount Pictures' new supernatural thriller, Hereafter. It's not your typical mother-daughter tale. Britton plays a mom who notices some terrifying changes in her daughter after a brush with death. Hereafter debuts in select theaters and digital on September 13th.
What is wrong with you? I want to pack up the car and I want to leave right now.
Ugh. Family's trip at their new friend's country home takes a dark turn in Speak No Evil. James McAvoy plays a terrifying host. Speak No Evil hits theaters on Friday. Seen all we need to see from that preview, right?
Yeah, I know.
Those
Yeah, it looks like everybody's involved in that one.
And before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Maxine is turning 8. She enjoys figure skating, ballet, and spending time with her little brother.
Happy birthday, Maxine. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
The time now is 6:48. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is coming up next.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat.
Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Did you know nobody beats King Furniture at bedding?
Nobody.
And did you know that King Furniture has one of the best selections of mattresses in the area?
Incredible!
And did you know King Furniture carries the best price points? Like this Jasmine Eurotop mattress for only $4.99.
Amazing!
So now you know. And you'll sleep like a baby knowing you paid the best price too. And while you're here, shop one of the best selections of Lazy Boy in our Lazy Boy Showcase. Find it all here at King Furniture.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
The feeling is mutual.
Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's. Yay! We love our guests.
Love. As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
from Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Where there's a flooded basement, there's a solution. Where there are wet spots or musty smells, there's an answer. Where wood damage or dry rot is stealing home value, there's an expert. American Waterworks. For wet basements, wood damage, and effects of dry rot, American Waterworks professional crack repair, waterproofing, sump pumps, and vapor barriers provide long-lasting solutions to tough problems. Wherever moisture problems surface, there's an answer. American Waterworks. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Where's the best place for local, fresh, quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef, $5.69 per pound, or 85% lean for $5.49 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time.
There's been more than a few changes over the years. But if there's one thing that hasn't changed, it's our commitment. 70 years and counting. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back at 6:51. Time for your morning news now. The teenage boy accused of killing 10-year-old Lily Peters will be tried as an adult. That ruling was handed down yesterday by an appeals court. The now 16-year-old, known only as CPB, is accused of killing and sexually assaulting Peters in April of 2022. In January, a Chippewa County judge ruled the case would stay in adult court. Then in February, his attorney appealed that decision. The suspect is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree sexual assault. A La Crescent man faces charges after a multi-state chase in a stolen vehicle. Police say 44-year-old Matthew Davis stole a running truck from a La Crescent Quick Trip Monday. Then he crossed into Wisconsin, then back into Minnesota via I-90. Authorities used spike strips near Winona to end the pursuit. He is now in the Houston County Jail. In their first and possibly only presidential debate, former President Trump and Vice President Harris sparred on a range of topics last night, including abortion, inflation, fracking, and border security. Trump slammed the Biden-Harris administration for failing to deliver on student loan forgiveness. Harris went after Trump over his criminal conviction and other pending cases. Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz, wife of Vice Presidential candidate Tim, joined La Crosse County Democrats for their debate watch party. The event sold out quickly after Walz's attendance was announced. This high-profile visit, along with recent stops by President Biden and former President Trump, underscores Western Wisconsin's importance as a key battleground state.
It's going to come down to turnout. Whichever side can kind of turn out more people and get people to the polls on November 5th could easily be the difference in Wisconsin. It could easily be the difference for the presidency.
At this point, no other presidential debates are scheduled. Wisconsin's GOP chair praising Trump's debate performance, calling him the real leader. Brian Schimming welcomed the debate, lauded Trump's support for Israel, and claimed current conflicts wouldn't have happened under Trump. He dismissed questions about Trump's refusal to concede the 2020 election.
They don't want to dwell on the economy. They don't want to dwell on inflation. They don't want to dwell on the border. They don't want to dwell on foreign wars, because all the polling out there shows that the Democrats are upside down on every single one of those issues.
Schimming says Harris will deflect from her and President Biden's record from now until Election Day. Flags will fly at half-staff today in Wisconsin and Minnesota, honoring the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. Governors Evers and Walz ordered that observance from sunrise to sunset. Governor Evers urging Wisconsinites to reflect on the spirit of service and unity born from tragedy. He encourages residents to honor those lost and find strength through community and common purpose. And President Biden and other dignitaries will be in New York today, attending the 23rd anniversary service to those who died in the 9/11 attacks. Families of the victims will also gather at the site to remember the close to 3,000 people killed on 9/11. Bellin and Gunderson Health are teaming up with Xcel Energy to create one of the first 100% renewable energy healthcare campuses in the nation. The new energy microgrid on the Onalaska campus will pair a battery energy storage system with Gunderson's existing solar panels to create their own electrical grid. That grid can connect to the city grid or function on its own.
How important it is to have safe, reliable, consistent care with all of our equipment and the people that are delivering that work. This project just goes to back up all of that, to be able to tell our communities, you matter to us, and this is the lengths that we will go to make sure that we're providing safe and quality care.
The project is part of Xcel Energy's Empower Resiliency program and is expected to be complete in 2026.
Well, we're warming on up. Yep, we're going to take it up to the top, possibly up to the 90s as we go into tomorrow. But today, upper 80s, possibly 87 degrees with some lower 80s well to the north. There's a look for tomorrow as well. You can see temperatures warming up. Those 90s will hold on just briefly as we go into cooler conditions for Friday, with the possibility of a little shower activity coming in for Friday night going into Saturday, with more rainfall as a 30% chance, 20% chance on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies for both days, and then maybe some humidity coming back again for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
All right, yeah, you said what? Put hot sauce on the weather?
A little hot sauce, a little extra hot sauce.
That's what it feels like. An annual tradition saw dogs in the Las Vegas area splashing around a community pool before it shut down for the season on Saturday. Every year before the Desert Breeze Community Center pool is drained, cleaned, and shut down for the fall, it's turned over to the doggos for a day of swimming and dog paddling. The annual event held time slots for dogs of different sizes and hosted raffles, prizes, and vendors, according to its poster.
Aww.
Unfortunately, all I can think of is the smell of wet dog. Seeing that, right? But they want to have fun too, okay?
Yeah, dogs just want to have fun. There you go.
Thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.